we are seeing women be removed from the porn industry completely because of AI. It is now becoming guys. Like, I mean, come on. Everybody knows the story from Andrew Tate. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was saying that he would go on the messages and talk dirty to guys to make money. Yo, with the internet and now with AI, there's some dude who's going on OnlyFans and he's like, you're so pretty. And it's some guy sitting there and be like, yeah, tell me more, babe.
So let me kind of, because this is like my wheelhouse.
Just dudes
right
getting other
here.
dudes off. That's pretty gay.
So this is what I've realized from analyzing the sexual marketplace, modern women, modern men, etc. The bottom line is this. Feminism has created a very unstable environment for men and women to create families and, children, etc. The nuclear family has been destroyed through feminism. But what's ended up happening through feminism is women are earning more money than ever before. They're more successful, more educated than ever before. So women no longer need the provisioning and security that a man used to provide in the 1950s. They can go ahead and make their own money and, their own success. So since this institution exists, women's standards have went up. Well, here's the problem. Their standards have went up while they're simultaneously still promiscuous and not necessarily worthy of a marriage or a long-term relationship. So what's happened is we have a lot of guys that are quite involuntary celibate, having a tough time meeting women, getting girlfriends, etc. So what do men do if they have a reproductive problem? They solve for it, whether it's pornography, it's, fleshlights, or, you're talking about this AI, etc. What I predict is if this continues on, where young men are being ostracized from dating and modern women in general, because modern women just don't see a majority of modern men as viable candidates, it's going to be what's going on right now. Top 5 to 10% of guys get all the girls, and the guys, the nerds, and Revenge of the Nerds, they're going to go ahead and start getting sex robots. And we're already seeing this happening right now. Lamar Odom went viral for getting a sex robot that represent, I think, what was his ex-wife's name? So one of the Khloe Kardashian, right? And everyone was like, what the hell? This is weird. I think that was a marketing ploy. But the main point I want to say is this. We already see guys disconnecting from the dating marketplace. We already see guys addicted to porn. We already see guys playing video games all the time. Because a lot of guys, the juice isn't worth the squeeze to deal with women that, quite frankly, are hoes. So they're going to go ahead. I think this robot industry is going to take off within the next 50 years. And I know people are like, Myron, what are you talking about? Well, keep in mind, 10, 15 years ago, if you met a girl on the internet and you said, oh yeah, we met on the internet, people laugh at you, right? But now, if you say, oh yeah, I met her on Tinder, I met her on Instagram, that's way more viable now. It's socially acceptable in just 10 short years. So I think with robots, that's going to probably be the future for a lot of guys because we got an enormous amount of men that have a reproductive problem.
Bro, I think this is the end of feminism.
It might be.
The issue is that, as we're seeing with gender ideology and with AI porn and OnlyFans, men are better at being women than women are. And I mean that from a capitalist financial standard. Andrew Tate, I got to be fair because I don't actually know a whole lot about what he was doing with like the apps and the girls and the dating stuff. But he's just an example people often cite. So I probably shouldn't cite that. I'll just say there are guys that run companies that use either they start by getting their own models to model, but they run the business, they do the chats, they hire other staff to do the chats. Then you've got like these males who identify as women winning female awards and being propped up on TV shows. Women love men. They love it when men be women and they give them awards for it. Men prefer to get their proclivities satiated by other guys who are running the business because those guys know how to do it. The end result of what we're seeing right now is women are not going to be able to get jobs. They're not going to be in porn. They're not going to be at the top of industry. It's going to be a bunch of guys just running literally everything for each other.
This is why I say, like, feminism actually hurts women. Like, it's the Trojan horse that actually hurts them, because what ends up happening with feminism is you've inadvertently given all the leverage to the highest status guys. Are they going to settle down with a woman? No. I can get all these girls. I'm going to just have the player lifestyle. So a majority of women end up dealing with a certain small percentage of guys. They think they're entitled to that type of guy, but what they don't realize, you can only sleep with that guy. You can't necessarily get him in a relationship. And you touched on men in the chat rooms, etc. This is a very interesting phenomenon. When I have girls on my show, one of the questions they asked that always perplexed me was, what do men want? And I kind of had like a eureka moment, because as a man, for you to be successful with women, you have to know what women want. You have to be able to take them out on a date, be attractive, charming, dress well, do something. You have to do something right as a guy to get laid, right? We can all agree to that. But with women, you don't necessarily have to understand men to get men as a woman. Be pretty. Guys are going to come up to you. Do you really need to understand them?
I got to pause you there. Women don't even need to be pretty.
There you go. I'm being middle ground here.
My point is,
but it's easy mode for them. Is my point.
You said that 85% of the guys are getting the women. So.
10%.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
50,
a minority. Minority. Yeah.
A minority, like 50% of guys are getting all the women.
Yeah.
And so when you actually look at dating trends, that means women who are considered to be on the below average side still get above average guys.
Absolutely.
Because guys are just like, I'll take it.
But I don't think
that fucks them up, because what I've noticed with women when it comes to mating, it's very difficult for women to go backwards. So if they're accustomed to a certain type of guy, that's my type, it's very difficult for them to go backwards and get with a guy that has less status, less income potential, not as attractive. The only time I've ever seen women like say, you know what, I'll lower my standards, is when they start to get older and they know that they can't command the same level of authority in the sexual marketplace.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.